Brian, arguably Disney's best Star Wars product thus far has been Andor season 1.
Mm,
People will argue maybe Mandalorian season 1 too, but Andor
yeah.
that's some quality storytelling. Season 2 is coming out.
Mm-hmm.
We cannot drop our review this discussion until April 21st. The actual release date is April 22nd.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think it's the
So the
next
day
day.
before. So we are going to briefly talk about what we think of season 2 because we don't want to spoil anything because we got to see all 12 episodes of season 2 and I have just finished them. You, on the other hand, took about 12 hours to watch
10.
12 episodes.
10 hours.
Well, I think you slept in there somewhere too.
No.
Oh, no, did you go straight through?
I went straight through. I
Straight
binged
through.
that thing straight
and
through.
I've been playing catch up, for things.
Sure.
Whew. Okay, so this covers about 5 years of time.
It's got there's 1 year breaks here and there.
Yeah, there's every once in a while, and everything, of course, is BBY, before the Battle of Yavin.
Yes.
Which, of course, culminates at the end of Rogue One, where we meet Cassian Andor, where they steal the plans to the Death Star. This is leading up through that across 4 or 5 years. And we get politics on Coruscant with Mon Mothma as our avatar there. Cassian, of course, is running around the galaxy, doing what he does, sometimes unwillingly or begrudgingly.
Yeah.
We get all our heroes back, all our villains back. We get imperial intrigue, because even in an organization as thumbed down controlled by the Emperor as the Empire, there's still a lot of little fiefdom building.
Sure, a lot of moving parts there. Yeah.
Although one could argue that the Emperor wants it that way.
I think yes. I would think that there's a lot of ambition.
Yes.
In this.
And ambition, keeps people moving and keeps them tense. So it's interesting. So let's talk about general opinions of season 2. Obviously, you were very happy with it.
I was,
because you went straight on through.
Yeah.
You went the Doors route.
Yeah.
So
I broke on through.
What was the through line for you without any spoilers, really? What was it that grabbed you for 12 episodes? Got to watch them now.
Well, I just think I find that obviously the character is very appealing. I think this you are emotionally engaged. At least I was emotionally engaged with the characters in this, and this this isn't necessarily nonstop fighting. This isn't nonstop action. There's action scattered throughout, but more than anything, it is about the characters, and this is kind of we watch how the Rebel Alliance kind of comes together, not directly, but we're on the fringes of it, and we see how that impacts the people who've kind of been doing the guerrilla warfare aspects.
Yeah, but let's not forget that the rebellion was not this one entity. There were these pockets of resistance all across the galaxy, and Luthen, was kind of the guy that was poking and prodding and trying to get them to work more together. He was trying to build the Rebel Alliance.
Yeah, and it's kind of interesting because as we explore that character, he again, we're not going to get into spoilers here, but his arc in this is an interesting one as well. Because because the rules are constantly changing as the rebellion becomes, again, less sporadic, less pocketed,
Right.
and becomes more of an actual uh, organization, I guess.
Yeah.
Where it moves from being a bunch of spy craft into actually a kind of a military thing.
Yeah. And I think it's interesting that he is aware, because he says it in season one. He is aware that he is never going to see the other end. Um, that
A lot of
that
these
is
guys, yeah. I mean, a
well,
lot of, and that's kind of part of the theme is, um, yeah,
but he knows it not just because of what he needs to do to make it happen, but he has kind of built himself the place where everyone uses the information that he provides and the resources that he can get them, while simultaneously not trusting and or openly hating him.
yeah,
But it's a role that he has accepted to serve what he sees to be the greater good.
necessary evil
Yeah.
to a certain extent.
So and Cassian he doesn't want to be a leader. He's a so how I don't know how many times he says I'm a soldier,
Yeah,
you know, but he is someone that people will follow. So he is a leader. The whole authority of position versus earned authority argument. So there's people are in roles they don't necessarily want to be in. They want to be in roles they aren't necessarily cut out for.
yeah.
Um, there's just You're right. This is about the characters. And if I have a complaint about season two, um, it it feels slower than season one to me. Uh, Not that the character stuff isn't great and gripping. It just but the overall story arc feels very slow. Now I do recall seeing somebody say there was a story about this was originally planned. Andor was originally planned for 5 seasons. Was what they wanted. We have 2, and now we are done. Um, yes, we are done. They can't make any more by the time you get to the end of this.
Unless
So,
unless they go in and fill in those, because there are the 1 year jumps.
right, they would have to go back. So, yes, so the 1 year jumps you kind of think would have been those season breaks to get to Rogue One. Um, and I don't know if that's the problem. I said none of this is bad. I don't really have a problem with anything I see. Maybe I wanted more development of those periods. But it seems like we just kind of drop in like a time traveler and it's like,
Yeah,
okay, it's 3 BBY and here's what's going on. And it's like you get like 2 or 3 days. And then you get to the next episode and it's like, oh, now it's 2 BBY. And here's where we're at. And you get a couple days. So it's just I don't know. It feels like it suffers from that construction to
well,
me. But
and I
again,
don't.
I don't
Yeah,
dislike anything I'm getting.
and I would agree that I think, that if there is a disappointment, it is that they did not allow it to fill in those gaps. Because I do really, really like this, and I would have loved to have spent more time in the that little space that they made. Um, so for whatever reason, I don't know if it was originally a 5 season thing or what it was exactly, but um, the 2 seasons we get are good enough that I wish that there could be more.
100%.
Um, um, so yeah, there is the jumps are a little. I don't. I mean, you're a little dizzy because you have to figure out, okay, kind of fill in the space, I guess, yourself, because they don't do anything to really explain what happened between point A and B. It's they just jump right in. Um, and there are relationships in some that are suddenly more evolved than they are necessarily in the previous episode or whatnot. So yeah, there's some jumps there that I don't think are a weakness in as much as I just wish we could have had more of this
Um,
series.
yeah, I wonder if because streaming numbers are terribly difficult to actually quantify. Um, and much ado has been made of Disney Plus's streaming numbers for
Yeah,
all of their series, be it Marvel, be it Star Wars. And I wonder if this was originally theoretically 5 seasons, if Disney decided to say, look, let's fill in this gap. Let's give you your season, fill in this gap between season 1 and Rogue One. But then we're going to, because, they're talking, Bob Iger, we're going to do quality over quantity. And I wonder if that was like a consideration
I don't know
in
if
that
it
construction.
yeah, if it was, I think it's a double-edged sword to a certain degree because there was quality here from
There
the very
was, but
get-go.
were the numbers reflective of that?
Well,
And
I
that's
think
the problem
that's
again. That goes back to the
yes,
numbers.
but that's so I don't think this was an issue of quality versus quantity, but I think maybe demand.
Yeah,
Um, and it's unfortunate. I guess the thing about the Rogue One and Andor is there is very little Jedi, because there's very little Jedi in that era.
correct.
So this is more. It's still very, very, very Star Wars,
Oh,
um,
yes.
but it's Star Wars on a more uh, gritty level, less fantasy.
It's grounded.
Yeah, it's
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 not
it's
it's not epic. It's very
um,
grounded because it's about
yeah,
these individuals.
and I if you can't tell, I really, really, really love. In fact, it was really hard for me to not just go and watch Rogue One, even after having spent 10 hours watching the series. But at that point, late at night, et cetera,
Yeah,
et cetera. But I did go back and I watched the first season again, and I'm almost all the way through the second season for a second time. Um, and the first season definitely was different in its structure in that it was kind of one continuous story where this is segments of stories and things. It still plays out very well, but yeah, like I said, those time gaps. There's a lot that does happen in that area, and you kind of have to piece together. And again, it's not necessarily what events happened; it's more piecing together where the relationships between characters. Where are they compared to where they were just before? So,
yeah,
um, I don't. Yeah, I think the acting in this is great. I think the story is great. I think there's the politics. There's a very real element to the politics and how politics work. Um,
or don't.
or don't work. Yeah, well, that might be more true than not. Um, I have no real complaints other than that I don't get more.
Yeah, and that seems to be where we agree on it. You like I said, I man, if season 1 was like an 8 out of 10 or a 9 out of 10, this for me is like a 7 or an 8.
Yeah,
It's just one step down, and it's got to be because I'm just kind of marking it down for the breaks, the
yeah,
gaps, and so it's not the quality of what we have. It's whatever drove that construction. I think makes the overall story suffer because again, this is it's like watching the prequel trilogy when you know how it has to end,
yeah,
so
yeah,
you have to make that interesting. This makes what we get is interesting, but it's like it's so chopped up. It's like you need to there needed to be more continuity, and not just continuity of characters. Oh, we're seeing this character every year. It's like no, there's that narratively there's got to be more continuity. because we know where it ends up. So you have to fill in those gaps better. So it is. I like it. I'm going to watch it again. I'll probably go back and watch. I think I have I have season 1 over on the shelf there. It's on Steelbook. So physical media, except no substitute. As some people are learning the hard way. Yeah, no, it's lovely. It's wonderful. I hope people watch it. Uh, if you watch episode 1 of season 2 and you haven't watched season 1, go watch season 1.
Yeah.
And it will immerse you in Andor's world. I mean, Andor the character's world, not Andor the series world, because his world is what's important. So it is interesting, buddy. So yeah, we both like that. That drops what will be tomorrow, April 22nd, on Disney Plus. When that happens, definitely, we both think you should definitely check it out.
Absolutely.
To varying degrees and for different reasons, but we definitely think you should check it out. Don't listen to the haters. You know they're already out there with their high gloss videos and their eight panel member bitch sessions. You know who they are. So don't just stop. Think for yourself and give it a shot. Trust me, it's worth it. Trust Ryan, it's worth it. We've got other movies to watch soon. By the time you listen to this, soon we will be thinking about Thunderbolts.
Yes.
Which we're both looking forward to.
Hopeful, yes.
And fingers crossed. And then probably a month later after that, we'll be thinking about Fantastic Four, which we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're doing with that. We'll see. But yeah, till then, go check the website, vsmoviepodcast.com. It's got links to all of our reviews, links to the episodes, links to social media, where you can like and follow us and let us know what you think, how you think we're doing there. Yeah, we'd appreciate your feedback. That would be lovely. So till we talk again, go to the movies, see a good movie. There's good stuff on streaming, and we're going to talk about that as well. Or we talk about that as often as we can, I should say. And until next time, I'm Mark. That's Ryan. Bye, Ryan.
See you, folks.
And we will talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.